Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 503. Happy Monday. Already four in here, 2 likes already. Awesome. Thank you. Happy Monday, February 21st, the week of the Madison Card Show. I'm pumped. Later this morning, I've got to follow up with the venue. Hopefully, I can get that second room. I had two more dealers reach out to me yesterday requesting table space. So hopefully we can get that second room. And actually it's not about getting more vendors in the show. It's about alleviating um some crowd control. Alleviate that crowd because the main ballroom, even though it's over 5,000 square feet, we've got the another 1,000 square feet in the mezzanine. It still was really crowded in January, and I think it's only going to be bigger this Saturday. So, and I know I've heard some complaints about it was too crowded, and that's great that we got a big crowd, but I don't want it to be a distraction for people walking the show and say it's too crowded, I don't want to go. And then you have a problem with there's no people. Now you have unhappy vendors. So you get a happy medium. Keep both the table happy. So hopefully we can get that done. And I'll let you know tomorrow morning. Is it an 80 table show or a 115 table show? Madison Card Show this Saturday, the 26th Hotel, John Nolan Drive. Going to be a lot of fun. Today's going to be a lot of basketball because, well, we're still in the lockout. I actually enjoyed. I had a full day of watching basketball. I got caught up in shipping. I got down to awaiting shipment. I got my number down to 38. I think that's the lowest I've been in about a month. Maybe like 6 weeks actually. Now 38 items to be shipped. That's like 8 hours. Like 38, 8 to 12 hours is how many, so it's not like 38 items have been piled up for a week. That's like literally 8 to 12 hours. Somebody could have ordered something at 7 p.m. last night. And that's like the oldest shipment that I need to ship out. So I do stay on top of it for the most part. There are some cards. Sometimes I'm a little slower on items. If it's a big bulk purchase, it's, I've got piles, so I'm trying to find cards. So that's why the other half of the day I spent organizing because I have developed mini piles, and I got a great head start about a week ago on my baseball, and then earlier in the week, last week, I was doing football and basketball, so those have all been completely organized, and now it's on to finish baseball. So I did some of that yesterday and then last night, and then I'll finish that up today. So that helps, and I've noticed it's much more efficient when I'm more organized. So I need to keep on top of that and not let these piles build up to where it's like, oh, I just listed these yesterday. I can just easily find the cards that sold. But then after a couple weeks, it's like, okay, was this, I've listed 6 or 7 different file exchange updates. Which pile is it? So that's shipments per day. So in 24 hours, 80. So say 40 items to ship in 12 hours. John, what's up, John? I get to go to my first card show this Saturday here in the UK. It's probably likely to be a lot of soccer. It's going to be fun. Get along. Anyone near Bolton? Awesome. Oh, you mean 12 hours ago? Yeah. Oh no, it does not take me 8 to 12 hours to ship. I would not be in business. I would not be making any money. I would not be able to do this if it took me that long to ship 38 items. So, what's up, Zach? Good morning. So, battle heavy. Someone in the chat, I can't remember who, apologize, mentioned, oh, the Michigan-Wisconsin basketball was on today in yesterday's episode in the chat. And I'm like, oh, awesome. I looked it up. Oh, it's a noon tip-off, which it's funny that I say this because I work from home. I work for myself, and I work from home. And it's like that's an inconvenient time for me when, I'm my boss. So noon tip-off is an inconvenient time, especially yesterday because I had to run and I don't want to run the errands in the morning because I've got a good thing going with my shipping. I've got a well-oiled machine going. I'm quick. And that. So I tend to do it around lunchtime. I do all of my shipping in the morning, and then I go eat lunch, shower, and then early afternoon is when I do run my errands. And yeah, I know if I want to watch the game, I'm gonna have to change that, right? So I figured I'm not a full game watcher. So if I miss the first half, I really don't mind. But I do want to watch the second half and the finish. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wrap things up, shower, eat lunch, and then I'll run. Maybe Costco, since I'm here and the game's in Madison. It's a big game. A lot of people will be home watching it. If I go during the first half, it won't be as crowded at Costco. And it really actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty crowded, but they had a lot of lines open. They had a lot of cash registers going, so I didn't have to wait long at all, which is awesome. So did my Costco run and came back and actually timed it perfect. I listened on the radio. As I got back in the car and started driving home, it was in the final seconds of the first half. So by the time I got home and unloaded all the groceries, it was halftime. So I was able to watch the second half. And boy, what a second half it was. What's up, Dan? Good morning. Jenny said I had my eBay seller rating done yesterday. Top rated. Awesome. Good for you. What's up, Ken? Good morning to you. So watching Michigan's not that great. Team they season. So there's talent there. They just haven't been putting together this year. I think they're now 14-11 on the season, win-loss record. And I'm in a chat with a couple of my former coworkers, and we chat back and forth during games. And I mentioned in the text string, I said, Michigan's going to be a sneaky team in the NCAA tournament, because at that time I thought the Wolverines, they'll win enough games to be a bubble team and get in. So that was my prediction before the handshake line yesterday, was Michigan's going to win just enough to be on the inside of that bubble, and get in, whether it's a play-in game, but they're going to be a low seed with their win-loss record this year. And I thought they're going to be a sneaky good 12 seed, and they're going to be in a 12-5 matchup. And they're going to be against a 5 seed that's a mid-major, and Michigan's just going to be more talented. And that's going to be this is probably going to be multiple. That's going to be one of your 12-5 upsets. Michigan's going to be, I wouldn't want to be a mid-major, a good mid-major team and have to match up with a Michigan team that's a lower seed. So they're going to be a sneaky low seed in the tournament. Well, towards the end, so here's how it all played out. If you weren't watching or following on social media, Wisconsin was up big, like by 16 points, and Wisconsin put in. We're in the final minute. What's up, John? Good morning. Chris Webber would have called a timeout in that situation as well, right? A lot of timeout jokes because of the whole Michigan connection with Juwan Howard and Chris Webber. So we're under a minute to go. What's up, Diego? Good morning, Ed. So we're under a minute. What's up, Herman? So we're under a minute to play, and Wisconsin with a big lead, 16 points. They've got all their bench players in, so they're cold off the bench, and Michigan still got a starter in, which I don't have a problem with that, because sometimes if you don't have a good ball hand, like a lot of times, like even with a team like Michigan, Wisconsin, like big programs, you got guys coming off the bench. They're cold. They don't get a lot of playing time. They don't handle the ball real well. So sometimes you have to leave a starter, and this is pretty much at any level of basketball. You've got to leave a good ball handler in. And sometimes you don't have a good ball handler on your 15-man roster outside of a starter. So sometimes, and I don't know Michigan's roster, so I can't say one way or another if they could have put a guy in that, off the bench that didn't play that could handle the ball, but Michigan still had a starter, and Wisconsin had all 5 reserves in. Here's what I have a problem with. Michigan was pressing. Now, in the post-game presser, Juwan Howard said, we weren't pressing. We call it a 5-man pressure. Five-man pressure, not pressing. You just defined pressing. Pressing is pressure defense. So you're still pressing. Well, not that he played that BS line in the post game, but you're still pressing down 16 with 15 seconds left in the game. So what happens? Ball gets hit out of bounds. Wisconsin has to go full length of the court. Now, the 10-second, you have 10 seconds to get across half court if you're not familiar with basketball. You have 10 seconds to get across half court. When the ball was knocked out of bounds, the count was at, I think, 4 seconds. So Wisconsin, Michigan pressing, playing 5-man pressure, full length of the court. Come on, man. So Wisconsin only has 4 seconds to get across the court. They've got their, all their subs in, playing against the pressure. So Greg Gard, 5 seconds, calls a timeout. Juwan Howard took exception. You could see the look on his face was like, come on, man. But it's like, Juwan, come on, you pressing. Like, just lay off the dogs. We've got all our 5. We've got our end of the bench in. Like, let's just run out the clock and get on the plane to Ann Arbor. Let's end this. But no, you want to press. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to play 5-man pressure, full length of the court. Come on. So calls a timeout. What does that do? So why call a timeout in that situation? Well, that lengthens your 4 seconds now back to 10 seconds. It resets the clock. So instead of playing against Michigan's 5-man pressure defense with all of your bench players in the game, you now have a full 10 seconds to get across half court as opposed to just 4. So Juwan didn't like that. And so Wisconsin, ball goes in, game over. Okay. Dan, leave my shy guy alone before he lightly slips. Right. So they go to the line. CBS. The game's on CBS. And they're like, Juwan Howard is not going to shake Greg Gard's hand. And so they've got the final score. They've got the music playing. They're just about to go to commercial, but here comes Juwan Howard, end of the line, and says, "I'll remember that. I'll remember that." And so Greg Gard's kind of a fiery guy, and Greg Gard kind of wants to talk, wants to explain himself. And Juwan Howard took exception to that. And Juwan Howard said he played the classic "Don't touch me" while forcibly grabbing. And you can say Greg Gard, touched him first. It is the handshake line, and I get it. It's heat of the moment. Juwan's upset. Now Greg Gard's upset because Juwan's upset. Greg's like, "Hey, why are you pressing me? I called the timeout I want to explain myself." Juwan Howard says, "Don't touch me," by doing this to Greg Gard. And then this in whatever happened in that instance, Gard was back by this point, and Joe Krabbenhoft comes in, and Juwan Howard swings and connects with Joe Krabbenhoft. It was more of a slap, as Dan mentioned, because it was open hand, but he did that, and incited now a brawl. And 2 Michigan players, 14 and I don't want to say the other number because I can't remember. I tweeted it out, but you can see the video. 2 Michigan players are swinging wildly. They connected with strength and conditioning coach. He made a poor taste tweet later with a picture on Twitter, which he since deleted, which was good. That he deleted it. All hell broke loose. So then in this game, Juwan Howard says he wasn't prompt, says he was upset with the timeout. Then he said he felt threatened. He reacted with that open hand punch because he felt threatened. He felt threatened. Okay. All right. So immediately, my hot take immediately was Juwan Howard should be suspended the rest of the season. And I actually, usually it's like I'm a full disclosure, I live in Wisconsin. I am a Wisconsin Badgers fan. But there's no place in the game for what transpired that was incited by Juwan Howard. That was incited by Juwan Howard. Don't give me the BS shit line that Greg Gard incited that by grabbing the elbow of Juwan Howard in the handshake line. That's bullshit. Don't even go there. That's BS. Juwan Howard incited it. I won't even say the grabbing that didn't incite it. It was once you swing, Juwan Howard, the head coach, leading young men, swung at another coach in the handshake line of a college basketball game, a level of higher education, an institution of higher education. And you're leading young men. So the more I thought about it, the more of the video I watched, the fallout, and then the post game, it's like, F that. Juwan Howard should be gone because there's now precedence. He's done this before. He didn't swing in the prior situation, but against Maryland last year, he stormed after Maryland coach Mark Turgeon. And that was mid-game. I think it was midway through the second half. So his anger management, there's a precedence for Juwan Howard's anger management. So at the least, he should be suspended the rest of the season. I'm not one of those guys that calls for the firing over, I don't like this cancel culture. But when you're leading young men, 18 to 22-year-olds, getting them ready for their future, not just basketball. This is beyond the game. When you're a head coach at this level, you're not just teaching kids basketball. You're teaching them about life and about teamwork and getting them prepared for adulthood, because most of these kids aren't going to be making a living on the basketball courts. They're going to be making a living in offices, and that's what you prepare them for as a head coach. And that's to lead those guys. I'm going to go to the chat. I'll leave my chat. Who do you push out of the lifeboat first, Howard or Harbaugh? I think Howard's got to go. 4 Trek autos for 25 shipped. Nice score, says Ed. So odd, expecting a USPS package, and it just sent me an updated delivery for today. I thought there was no mail. My prediction is it will arrive tomorrow, and the website is wrong. It could arrive today. Depends on where it's coming from, because there is some mail delivery today. Like, I know the actual offices are closed, and like the regular mail, because I've had mail deliveries, like the USPS truck deliver a package. If it's like a package, it may come today. Can you name 2 other athletes that went to Vocate? CVS is Chicago Vocational. Dick Butkus is one. Let's see. I'm trying to think of others. Vocational. I know there's been some other basketball. I can't off the top of my head. Dick Butkus is probably the most famous. I can't think of a second though, off the top of my head. Let's see. Between ballroom commentary and ball handling commentary, this HE episode 503 is getting flagged, right? Zach, Amazon and Priority Mail move on all days of the week, even no days. Okay. Thanks, Jenny, for the clarification. I knew there was some. I know for a fact Amazon is delivering because I have a package coming today from Amazon. Ed says, threatened isn't Howard 6'9". Yeah, Juwan Howard is 6'9", Greg Gard, by the way, is 5'11". So yeah, take that for what it is. 5% eBay bucks in my inbox. Interesting, because I do have a couple things on eBay that I want to get. Did you see Howard get assaulted last night? Just joking. Chris Zorich. Okay, Chris Zorich. He was my favorite Bear in the 90s. He was awesome because he was playing in the era when the Bears were training in Platteville, Wisconsin, and we would come up and watch the Bears. And Zorich always signed autographs, signed for like everybody. He was a great guy, and he just didn't sign. He like interacted. He talked with people. He was just a super nice guy, and he's having a lot of success in life. I can't remember what he's doing professionally, but moving on to better things. Get that garbage Michigan, Wisconsin shenanigans out of the way. Bernie Mac and Marvin Freeman, also vocational guys. The NBA All-Star Game, I did not plan on watching the NBA All-Star Game last night. It was one of those things where it's like, if I'm downstairs, like down here in the basement, I'll throw it on, have it on in the background. So what happened was my wife had a showing and had to write an offer. So I had been downstairs down here like all day outside of my Costco run, shipping, organizing. So by 6 o'clock, I'm like, I'm done. I'm going upstairs. Turn the TV on. I'm like, what do I want to watch? And it was like the NBA All-Star Game pregame show. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, this is fun because I love Charles Barkley and I love Shaquille O'Neal. And I love that foursome with Ernie Johnson and Kenny Smith. So they're doing like a pregame and they've got, interview. It's like, this is fun. I like this. So my wife comes home and then we have dinner and she's like, do you want to watch Jeopardy or are you watching this? And I'm like, I don't care. And she's like, well, are you watching this? I'm like, I'm watching this, but I don't care. She's like, well, my wife can't make a decision and neither can I. So I'm like, okay, I'm watching this. Just leave it on. So finished dinner and I'm like, the game was just starting. And I'm like, you know what? I think I want to watch this. I'm going to go downstairs and watch the game. So I came downstairs. I watched the entire game. Usually at like 9 o'clock, I'm ready for bed. I'm going upstairs and it's like 9 o'clock and I'm like still enthralled in the game. And I was watching the TBS. I was watching the Barkley, Shaq, Ernie, Kenny commentary on TBS. And then they had Kevin Harlan on the call with whoever else was in that booth on TNT. But I like Shaq and Chuck. And so it was a lot of fun. And Draymond Green did awesome on the sideline. It was a fun game. Like, I actually enjoyed the game as well. Steph Curry was on fire, hitting threes from everywhere. And I know it's not basketball. And I get it. Like, I'm a college basketball fan. Like, I would rather watch from a basketball standpoint, college basketball than the NBA. And the All-Star Game has always been like, especially when I worked in college basketball, it was, like, oh, this isn't basketball. This is like Harlem Globetrotters. But it was a nice change and it was fun. I enjoyed it. And it was a close game. It was like a 3-point game. I can't remember which team won. I think Steph Curry's team won, maybe. I can't remember, but it was fun. First time in about 25 years I've actually watched, probably the first time in almost 30 years, well, 25, that I've watched it. Like, I've actually paid attention. Probably like 95 was the last time that I was excited and watched it. And then by 96, 97, that's when I was like more into watching pro wrestling and kind of drifted away from basketball after watching it in the early to mid 90s. But I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Jenny says, only thing Minnesota has coming is 14 inches of snow. That sucks. We've got a small band. We're supposed to get less than an inch today, but I did see the map north of us is getting hit. So hopefully it stays. Hopefully this whole week, I don't think we're supposed to get any snow at this point, knock on wood. Hopefully we don't get anything. It can snow after. Actually, it's the end of February. I don't want it to snow anymore, which I know here in Wisconsin, sometimes we go in at the end of April. Really a downer. So hopefully we don't see any. Ed says, every time I see Zorich's name, I think of the NFL Films clip with the steam porn. Yes, that's a classic. That is a classic. It was so cold that Zorich, his head, just has just steam rolling off of his head. Yeah, that's epic. John says, I worked the 1997 All-Star game in Cleveland, last one I watched. Oh, wow, that's awesome. 97 All-Star game in Cleveland. I probably didn't watch that one. Because by 97, I was like not even really paying attention to the NBA. And actually, that's really, I've paid attention to the NBA in the last year than I have since the mid 90s. 90s was kind of when I was, getting out when Michael Jordan returned. And when did he come back? 96, 95. I think it was 95. So when was his, 90. So the Bulls won 90, 91, and 92, or, the start of those seasons. So 92, 93 was their last finals. That was against the Phoenix Suns. So 93, 94, Jordan was out. 94, 95, I think that was the season he came back. Was 94, 95, but he came back like at the end, right? 94, 95. And then he was back and they won the title in 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98 for the three titles. But by the second three-peat, I wasn't really paying attention. 50th. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. That was the 50th anniversary. That's another thing, that the 75th anniversary last night was really cool. Seeing all the greats, and then getting Barkley and Shaq's, there, because they were both on the 75th anniversary team, and, getting their insight into what it was like for them, because, the younger guys, and that's kind of what's unique about the generations of that great talent. Even though they were greats, they still look up to their elders, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and in like the young guys, they're looking up to Shaq and Barkley, of the young, the young generation that's on the team, like Steph Curry and Giannis. So that's really cool. Top 5-0 NBA team, only Shaq and Maravich not there. That's cool. And then I thought, and I don't think I had a single reply to my tweet. It was, so all of the top 50 players were on the top 75 team, and they actually talked about this on the panel. I think Kenny Smith asked, does it automatically, or actually I think Draymond Green on the sideline asked, now do the 75, the top 75, do they automatically become members of the top 100? And I think the panel, all agreed. I think, yeah, you have to. And you just kind of make it the next, it's the next 25. Like, these guys were and I like that. It's like, these were the guys that were the best of the generation. And you don't have, you don't compare like Babe Ruth to Shohei Ohtani, because, the game was so different in the last 100 years. So it's like, hey, Babe Ruth was the greatest of this 25-year set, and then Mickey Mantle was one of the greatest in this 25-year set, and then X player, and then X player, and then the next 25 years. So who on this all-star team, in this all-star game, will be, that's not a member of the top 75 team, will be a member of the top 100? Now, Giannis and Curry, and there's a couple, I think Kawhi Leonard is a current player that was on the top 75. James Harden is still playing. He's on the top 75. So there's several current players that are on the top 75 team. But the younger generation, the guys that didn't make the top 75, who's going to be on the top 100? So some guys that I think, Trae Young, I think, will be on the top 100 team. I had a couple on my short list, and I'm not listing end all be all for to know. NBA All-Stars 2022. Jokic, yes, Nikola Jokic, definitely. Sabonis, I don't think Sabonis will be. Sabonis is really good, but I don't think he's going to be among the 100 greats. Just my opinion. But Jokic, definitely. Let's see. Ja Morant, I mean, I know he's only, 2 years into the league. Bull, of course. I think Ja Morant has a really good chance. Maybe Jason Tatum. I think Trae Young. Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker has a good chance. Oh, yeah, Luka. I forgot. Luka was not on the top 75. So I think Luka definitely. Let's see. So that's Trae Young, Devin Booker, and then off of team LeBron. Of course, LeBron, Giannis, and Steph, they're all on the top 75. I think Jokic and Luka. James Harden was on the top 75. So yeah, I think those guys. Mark Eaton. Mark Eaton. There's a blast from the past. Mark Eaton, former Utah Jazz. Let's see. Not yet. He's going to surprise us all in a couple years. I sense it. Will Wander Franco's rookie be on the top 100? I'll end on that note because I said over the weekend that I was going to compare prices. I did not run the last 10 this morning, but I ran the previous 10 of Wander Franco's base rookie card that sold, the last 10 from Saturday morning. Now, I've been monitoring, and the sales haven't dipped. This morning, like right before I went live, I was getting the stream start. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't do the last 10, but curious, have the prices dropped? And they haven't. Like, they're still selling for around $15. Like, $15 is like the average price. And it was probably, I'm just looking at the 10, it was around, it was right at $15, $16 on average on Saturday morning. The prices have not dropped yet. They will. I opened some more on set. When I opened my boxes on Saturday, I like fully expected to not sell my Wander Franco base rookie card that I pulled for $15. I listed it for 15 and it sold in like 10 minutes. And that was on late Saturday afternoon. And then a lot of the sales overnight, last night into this morning, still $15, $17, $18 for a base Wander Franco rookie card. They will drop. I don't know when, but they'll drop. Joel Embiid, possibly, could make the top 100. The process has a great track record so far. So we'll see. 1 million Wander Franco project. That's not for me. Somebody out there can do it. Who knows? There might be 1 million Wander Franco base cards produced this year. And I think from some of the odds and what I've read, there were 700. I think like of the base cards, there's like 750,000 of each base card produced. So when you tie in like the factory sets and the team sets, there's probably going to be more than 1 million of each base, if that 750,000 number is accurate, which I can't confirm, but that's something that I did see. And if it's on the internet, it's got to be true, right? Why do people jump on these cards knowing they'll drop? It's FOMO. It's always been like this, and it's always going to be like this. And you can scream at the top of a mountain and say, don't buy these cards right now. Wait 3 weeks. People don't have People don't have patience to wait. Boxes. It's like, there's no way in hell I'm dropping $125 on a hobby box of Top Series 1. Like, I'll go and I'll buy 5 blasters for the same price. And, I may not get the acetate or, a big fancy hit, but I'm going to get more cards, and I'm, got a better chance of getting multiple Wander Franco rookie cards than, you get a hobby box, you're going to get one. But if you get 5 blasters, you might get like I bought 5 blasters on Friday and pulled 2 Wander Franco base and 2 Wander inserts. With a hobby box, you're going to get one of each probably. So I don't know. It's the society has always acted like that, and it will continue. It's FOMO. People just have to have it now, and they don't want to wait. They think they're after the next Trout update with no knowledge. There's some of that. Trout was update, not series 1 with complete sets. Yep. A lot less produced in 2011, less because it was in Topps update. So that's what I had. Basketball heavy. Hopefully we get some baseball today. Hopefully, or this week. I'm not confident for today. Hopefully by the end of the week we got a deal. I shopped some hotels. I think I'm going to stay in a really shitty hotel in spring training. I just don't want to spend the money. My wife only looks at like 4-star and 5-star hotels when she books trips. I look at 1 and 2 stars because I don't want to spend the money. Like if it has a bed and a toilet and I prefer it to be clean and without bed bugs, I'm good to go. Not cockroaches in Arizona. Might be scorpions, but probably not cockroaches. Those are down in Florida. So I just want to save my money, stay at a crappy hotel, and then that way I can spend money on fun stuff, I guess. Let's see. Have people forgot about Roberts? Who's Roberts? Have a great day all. Is there a Sheraton? I get Marriott points for booking my card shows. So whatever I spend, whatever the scale is, I get those added to my Marriott account. I don't have a lot, so it's Luis Robert. Gotcha. So that's what that was ideally I would want to. And right next to Sloan Park, there's Sheraton properties. So it's like, oh hey, I could stay here. There's a problem. It's $300 a night. I'm not $300 a night for a hotel. Gets me some good Marriott points, but I'm not. I'm gonna go find a shithole for $75 a night. And there are some shithole. I stayed in a shithole 2 years ago. It was a shithole, but it was cheap, and it was a bed and a toilet, and it was clean enough for me. It was clean enough for me. So, and it was close. I mean, it was close. I actually found another shithole that's kind of closer to the park. And it's like around $70 a night. So we'll see. Anybody want to trade a Franco for medium flat rate filled with baseball cards? What's the obsession with Wander Franco? Is his first Topps. The Bowman was 2019. Yeah, so this is his first rookie card with a logo. Now there's a lot of debate, which I don't want to get into. This Topps is his true rookie card. There's the Coleman's Best, which was released last month. So it's his first card that says rookie. So it's got and I might have already shipped, so I don't have mine handy. So it's got the rookie logo. It's his rookie card. The Bowmans are prospect cards, so they're not considered rookie cards. So that's the hype. It's his first rookie card. They treated his rookie the same way, and look at it now. And every year, there's somebody every year. Although last year we didn't have one. 2021, there was a lot of potential, and there still is. There's a lot of talented rookies in 2021 Topps Series 1. We just didn't see a breakout season by it. And none of the rookies were like top tier like top 5 prospects. But we had Shohei Ohtani. We had Aaron Judge. Trevor Story was the big rookie in 2016. 2015, who did we have? Bryant Correa. 2014 was Mookie Betts, but I don't think Mookie he wasn't like the chase in 2014. Now, the further I go back, I'm not remembering the chase. I do remember Story was the chase rookie card in 2016, I think. Yeah, it was 2016. Trevor Story was the hot rookie in 2016. And those sold back in 2016. Trevor Story rookies were selling for about $10 a pop. Was clean enough for me. The bride would never stay there with you. That's exactly correct. And when we stay in the fancy hotel, that's why they're going on her credit. Topps can shove that trophy and rookie logo where the sun don't shine. Thanks. I was very confused. It is confused. And there's and beyond that, there's rules. And then there's deadlines. Why was Wander not in Topps update? And now it becomes there's rules, and then there's rules. There's rules, and then there's rules. So sometimes they use the rules to make more money, kind of what they did with Wander Franco. They had time to get him in some of the 2021 products because he did debut last year, but he missed the deadline. And that's Topps speak for, we want him in every single freaking product of 2022 to make more money. So it's very convoluted. With the hype and talk of his base rookie, I feel like the lore will be this generation's Griffey Upper Deck. If he becomes like the next Ken Griffey Jr., but if he becomes the next Brian Taylor, nobody's going to remember. The memory is going to be, oh, remember how we all collected Brian Taylor or Todd Van Poppel? So if he becomes a superstar, then yes. But if he flames out well, then we're going to remember him as that great bust and Taylor in the early 90s could be. Correa was justified with Chrome because it was an SP. The Topps update Chrome. Let's see. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope baseball news at some point this week. So we'll have a great Monday. Back tomorrow. We'll see you then.